Yes, y'all. Welcome in to episode 299. 299 of the Dunmars podcast. It's your boys, your favorite Saturday brunch bunch, back at it again. Two-man booth this time. Good old JR, Jerry the King Lawler, Gorilla Monsoon, Jesse Ventura. Go on and on and on to the great, to the two-man booth. Rocking with you this week as Donald is out on vacation, I believe, or heading on vacation, one or the other. But Jason, how we living? How we feeling today?
I want to be called Byron Saxton today. That's how much energy I'm giving.
Nice,
No,
nice,
I'm here.
nice.
I'm here. I'm good, man. Tired, long week. Yeah.
Tired, long week. No, that's good. That's good. That's good to hear. Good to know. Back at it. We got something excited today planned for you guys since it is just Jason and myself. As you can see down here, I shall be known as Tony Max Bayless. So we're giving you your sports debate vibes today. Okay, we're going to debut a brand new segment. Um, truth be told, I put it together this morning. I had all intentions on getting it done last night, but I said, you know what? I'm too tired, going to sleep. Went and got a fresh fade this morning, came home, and I was like, let me get this graphic put together and this segment thrown up. So we'll see how this goes. I think it'll work out good. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let us know what you think for sure as we go through these. But we're going to deliver you the PTI vibes, but we're going to do it from a Mark perspective. All right. So
Leave it to Steve to be running on CPT.
yes,
So now we're 2 minutes late.
CPT, no doubt. So with that being unsaid, let's unveil the segment. Welcome everybody to PTM. Pardon the marks. All right. It's your pro wrestling podcast debate show edition. We got a slew of topics to get through here. As always, we will talk about our Mount Rushmores and mushes as we go through debate. So, Jay, on my end, since I got the topics pulled up in the captions, if you could monitor the chat on your end of things and throw up stuff, as it comes through, as people are joining in here.
I got you.
But I'm gonna need you to give a little bit more than Byron Saxton energy. Okay, I don't need full blown Stephen A. But you can get into the Stephen. I'm trying to think. Are there three black guys from debate type this? It was Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp, right? Do we got a third we can throw in there?
Wilborn.
Wilborn, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Blackstone.
you can be Steven Sharp Wilborn today, and we'll get that out there. So, PTM, here we go. First topic as we run through. 26 years ago, Bash at the Beach fiasco took place between Russo, Hogan, and Jarrett. There's been a lot of debate, a lot of documentaries, and a lot of scuttlebutt around this particular issue and incident that took place at basically the beginning of the end of WCW. Right, they were out of business not too long after this, but this is where Hogan and Bischoff basically walked out, and this was Hogan's last appearance in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Not seen again after this. They touched a little bit on this here and there with Dark Side of the Ring, which we'll get up to later on in PTM. But do you remember this? Were you watching this live? What did you think as it went down when the belt got officially put on? Well, Jarrett did the lay down in the ring, right? Although Finger Poke of Doom. But this was kind of crazy as it happened.
I was watching at the time, but I guess I wasn't like now you can look back at it and judge. At the time, it's just like, okay, you're shocked that Hogan's leaving. When you find out like the inner workings behind everything kind of skews your view as an adult. But back then it was just like Hogan's leaving. I'm shocked.
But didn't he
I was never a Jerry guy though, so
I mean, I didn't at the time, like watching it, I didn't really think like oh, this is the end of Hogan in WCW.
Hmm.
It was more like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
Like, we
confusion.
got confusion. Russo's out there cutting promos. Jarrett just gets in the ring and lays down. Hogan refuses to do the job. It was just like one of these things where it's like, what the hell happens? And then Russo comes out later on and cuts another promo saying, you'll never see Hulk Hogan again and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, are they shooting on us right now, or are they working us? Um, would
What
you even
move?
would you even attempt something like this now?
No.
And not saying that they did this script wise. This is what they had planned for the show. Because from like all accounts and things that I've watched and read on this particular incident, this was not like the plan as
Yeah,
is. Right? This was a soul brother Hogan experience where he said, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing this." And Russo's like, "What do you mean you're not doing it?" And it turned into what it turned into. But do you think with Unreal and everything else now, like something like this would generate buzz, be viewed negatively? Like, how would it play out if it happened today, 26 years later?
I don't think it would because like too many people are in the know. Too many people are in the know, and you have to have stuff booked out in advance. Now, if you have a wrestler going into business for himself, that moment, uh, do you think there's somebody big enough that would pull that move? Maybe a Punk.
I mean, we don't when you talk about creative control and what Hogan had versus what Hogan didn't have, WWE wise, you have none of that, right?
Yeah,
Like you can't obviously you can have off script moments happen. We've seen
yeah.
it with Tiffany and Charlotte. We've seen it with Charlotte and Becky. We've seen it with Charlotte and Nia. Um, I'm sure there's been fellas that have gone off script too, but those are some of the more recent ones that come to mind right away as far as something that's like, yo, this is not part of the regular script. This is real life stuff happening right now, right? Um, Jack Perry, with the glass comment that ultimately led to the backstage incident and Punk's exit. So like, there's some things now, but for a wrestler to have creative control to actually do something like this, I don't know if we would then get a head of creative out on the show airing that laundry live in real time like we had back then.
And
So
then you, I feel you'd have to have a contingency. Like now, you'd have to have a contingent. I think they probably have contingency plans in place if something happens. Say
yeah,
a la screw job.
right. But even that to this day is still. I mean, Kevin Nash. I just saw they were talking. He was. I don't know if it was on his podcast or if there was a clip that resurfaced from an older interview. But he was like, "Oh, that was definitely a work." Scott Hall, I remember vividly. Scott Hall was watching as it went down. They did an interview with him. It was a part of some documentary, and he's like, "Oh, it's a work. Everybody's involved." And it's like, well, wait a second.
Which part?
The whole screw job.
Oh, the screw. Okay, the screw job. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, not this. I'm talking about the whole
Yeah.
screw job. Like your contingency plans are what they are. I just don't know. Like with the lady examples that I gave, with they just kind of let the segments play out, and
Yeah.
then with Unreal, you saw some of the aftermath with Charlotte and Tiffy, but like Nia and Charlotte, they were just out there throwing hands on each other, and then got to the back, and we heard there was some scuttlebutt afterwards, but it's not like they ended the segment or cut to black and went somewhere else. Like I don't know what your contingency plan would be in this type of situation if something like this were to happen live in real time. But you want to talk about Wild Wild West scenarios and just yeah, I mean, we look back now and go, okay, that, like all the stuff that's come to light, but in the time during the moment, it was like,
Shock and all.
yeah. Can you
Hmm.
imagine? Can you imagine if there was the wrestling coverage today in 2000 when this will happen. Like everybody that
Oh,
does the live streams and everything, like, can
oh.
you imagine
hmm
how that would have played out?
You'd be on like the minutes after live
It
stream
was,
right now.
I
Let's
mean,
go.
yeah, like
Hook up,
the,
hook up
the
the mic.
reactions real time, everything. Sam Roberts would be doing emergency podcast. LaGreca, I mean, it would be nuts, right? Like insane. Um, Continuing the bash theme here, let's jump into our next AEW Beach Break venue from this past Wednesday. Um, Overall, not just venue specific, right? Not going into the show itself, but what'd you think of the setup, the venue, the staging, having it outdoors in Florida in July? Like, what did you think overall of the venue from Wednesday night?
I enjoyed it. It was different. It gave it its own personal feel for a Dynamite. I like it when they do that every now and then, switch it up, change it. Only thing I didn't like was the sand.
I mean that's WCW a la esque, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when they had the sets
Yeah.
in that, you know.
And my thing was like, it wasn't even like just having sand. It was like, man, you're gonna track that back in the ring. I got to wrestle on that shit. Yeah, but
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not trying to do you want to roll around and have a grappling match and we got just grains of sands all over this mat. Like
so was that a resort?
I don't know much about the place itself. It
Okay,
looked like some sort of resort, right?
yeah, because when you went out in the crowd, it had the turf, the good old wave
Yeah,
pool floor. Okay,
yeah. And then, there were some shots of people that were like walking by that were watching it as they were walking by. So it was like a bash at the beach whenever they did it on the beach, right?
yeah,
Like you had people all over the beach, but you had your set crowd that were quote unquote inside the venue, right? The passersby could watch it as it was going on. I enjoyed the setup. I liked it. I like this presentation in this place much better than the indoor golf that they had,
yeah,
a couple months ago for that particular episode of Dynamite. What it did was I think it really brought back the vibe and feeling of I need pay-per-view shows to have sets.
I feel you on
Like
that. Yeah,
like everything now is just so LED board centric, and you just outside of WrestleMania, that's all it is.
simple and cost
Uh,
effective.
yeah, cost effective, but it's no different than like fast food restaurants now. Every fast food restaurant looks the same.
Yeah,
Why? Because the companies own the land, and they everything looks the same. So if they have to close it down and shut it down, cool, we'll close it down. But guess what? Then a vape shop goes in or something else goes in. You know what I mean? Like you
yes,
got the all the buildings look the same now. There's no different Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Little Caesars, Taco Bell. They all look the same.
just slap a new name on the front.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah,
changing the name on it, right? Like, so I appreciate them going outside the box and
yeah,
putting something new on screen. Um, the only thing that was a drawback, and this is again, you're outside in Florida in July. It was like allegedly like 102, 110 degrees in there
yeah.
underneath the lights in the ring. Like, not, the heat and humidity in Florida this time of year is crazy. But then you add in lights and everything else, and it's just like going back to Daly's place during COVID. Like the wrestlers themselves, from all reports I saw, were not happy with that part of it in that regards there. So
And let's
uh,
add Pyro.
yeah, Pyro too. Like, but it was nice. Like you started out with Ciampa and Jericho, and then as you were going on, you got like the sunset going down and everything else. Like it was a very well thought out visual presentation of a wrestling show that was refreshing, considering everything else is just so HOA centric, where it's copy and paste.
And you added that, you can see the sun going like that played perfect into that thing. You know how I hate wrestling in the daytime. Like
Yeah,
Mania, the first half, I hate wrestling in the daytime. That played out perfect as the light went down towards the end of the show. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
it
no,
worked
it
there.
was it was very very well done. Kudos to AEW for doing that. And listen, 6, 7 years into their existence, you're still trying to differentiate yourself. In ring wise, we know the differences between them and WWE, but if you're going to roll this out a couple times a year, by all means, continue to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with having a special beach break. And while I didn't necessarily like the hot shot golf one, where they play the indoor golf series, it
It was
it
different.
was something different. So give
And
me give me 4 or 5 of those a year to make a special dynamite, and I'll be okay. Like, I'll rock with you. Not all of them are gonna land. This one I liked a lot better than the golf one, but
but yeah, do that instead of just slapping a name on a random dynamite just to make it a special, make the whole thing feel different. Yeah.
right, like NXT, you have your Halloween Havoc. Well, okay, and you make it Halloween S theme. You bring the wheel back, all those things, cool. But you're still in the PC.
Yeah.
This is something that, like you said, if we're going to have a specially titled Dynamite, why not run it in an outside the box venue to make it stand out more than just your regular Wednesday show? So I thought overall the venue was perfect. Do they go back again and do this same thing next year? Who knows? But I definitely appreciated the thought process that went into Wednesday night's presentation from a television viewer's perspective. All right, next up, sticking with AEW, some more news broke, and we've seen this with other indie promotions. We talked about maybe GCW landed on my AEW. It was announced this week that MLP, which is Scott D'Amore's promotion up in Canada, will be shown on my AEW. They also got a deal to air their show live on TSN, midnight Eastern in Canada, which is 9 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays. So a little bit more to go into this. The show will air live on TSN and that on Wednesdays. Thursdays, it'll upload to my AEW and be on there at 9, I believe 9 p.m. So going head to head with TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts overall as far as MLP getting basically two different sets of distribution for their product and what they're looking to do and establishing themselves. And then thoughts on my AEW really like beginning to start to stack up content, and that $100 20 price point for the year seems a lot more tangible as far as me wanting to come out of my pocket given the things that they're adding.
So do you still, is it available here yet?
So you can get all of this content on there in the States. It's just you have to, I think you still have to pay for the pay-per-views. And Chris would be able to clear this up. I can't remember exactly the breakdown, but like you can watch Dynamite and Collision, and then my AEW, with this stuff. So all that is on there for you to be able to go in and view.
Okay. So just to pay-per-views stateside would be.
I believe so. I'm not 100% correct on that. Chris has my AEW, and he'd be able to chime in if he is in the chat or has something to say here. But
Oh, so you can use it without Surfshark?
Yeah, you can just you don't need the VPN. Although I would definitely head on over to Surfshark,
Yeah, and try it.
Pod, get your VPN and do it that way. But it's not like a at least I don't think so.
I thought that was the issue here. Like you couldn't get it here. Like it was international, but you couldn't get it here because the contracts and stuff.
Yeah, no, you're able to, like, that stuff you're able to watch on it. It's just with the pay-per-views. I don't think you're not able to pull those in.
What's going on, Frank?
What up, DJ? So yeah, I mean, kudos to MLP getting this stuff out there. I mean, I like what D'Amore has done. He's bringing in talent. This obviously lends to a more partnership base with not only AEW but CMLL for MLP with those individuals. I think GCW is an interesting domino. We talked about them before potentially going. MLW is the one that I'm looking at.
Uh-huh.
And what does Court Bauer decide to do? Because while they're back on YouTube and they have their YouTube channel back up and they're running Fusion live on Saturdays at 6:05, but MLW is one that I'm watching to see how they play their hand and what goes into it. Because if you're going to give me MLW, MLP, Maple Leaf Pro, GCW, like all that, like, yeah, I'm going to cough up the money to watch my AEW because
Short subscription.
it's
You get your
one,
money worth.
yeah, one place, and hopefully brings more eyeballs to those particular products. So
No, we just trying something because it's a 2-man booth.
2-man booth, DJ. We out here running the PTN part of the Marks like segment, like we're Kornheiser and Wilbon for PTI. So we're running through something different with me and Jason today. Although I am going to have to go in and trademark this after the show. I probably should have done so before one of you marks rips it off and steals it. But we have video proof and evidence that we did it first. So yeah, but yeah, we're here. Part of the Marks. Speaking of brother, we talked about Hogan earlier. LA Knight Raw promo, him and Seth. I mean, you talk about, for me at least, a golden promo segment. I loved everything about this. I loved him getting his energy off. I love him actually shooting in a way that got his frustration out there directly in Seth's face.
Yeah.
Like, but I thought this was absolutely fantastic. What would you think as you were watching it?
Nah. I'm over the LA Knight stick. It was just, I don't know.
All right, so now we can get into the back and forth like Stephen A.
Like,
yeah. All right, now we're cooking.
MJF-ish.
yeah. Now we're cooking. We're gonna go Max and Stephen A. or skipping in Stephen A. right now. Like, all right, so you're over the stick.
Like every now and then he'll drop a line, but I'm like, at some point, do something with him.
But that's not on him.
He's just a man on the mic.
But that's not on him.
I know, but if it's not on him, don't put him on the screen. Don't give him promo time, just to pop the fans. In NXT, he was kind of used right. Up here, now we get the same shit for how many years now?
To steal a line from somebody else. Stop me when I'm telling lies. He didn't tell no lies in that promo on Monday night.
He didn't.
And Seth, like, at what point they cut to Seth whenever he's going through the, oh, brother, let's get a haircut together. Oh, brother, let's get matching beards. Oh, brother, we're the greatest of what? And Seth is there smirking, like, all right, you're cooking right now, but I got to keep a straight face as much as possible. But I mean, it's true. He's been tied to the bloodline and the vision for the last 5 years of his run outside of a U.S. title, reign and win. But the fans obviously still clamor for LA Knight. And, age is a factor. He brought that up and talked about it too, but it's like, why? I don't understand. Like, why not? Why not? When you look at it, it's been the same 4 guys in the title picture. Why not?
I wouldn't do it, but he could be a transition champ. Like, to me, the guy in the ring is just blah. I don't. I'm starting to side with Chris now.
So I don't know, like this, and this is where our taste of wrestlers differs, because I've been a fan of LA Knight going back to TNA. Loved him in the NWA before he left and came to WWE. Like, him again, he sticks out in a subdivision vibe of copy and paste. which is maybe why I like him as much as I do, which is why I like carrying Cross the way that I like carrying Cross. Like I appreciate, even though it's a remix of Austin Rock and that sort of personality,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a complete copy paste. He has his own flair and style with it, and he makes it himself. So like, I just don't get like what box does he not check outside of age? He checks all the boxes. He looks fantastic. He talks on the mic. He can wrestle. He has matches with anybody and everybody. Like he's a fan favorite. He sells merch. Like what box does he not check outside of being 40 some years old? When both your champions are in their 40s.
He doesn't check the top guy box. And that's pretty much what WWE is running on right now.
But he's a money maker. It's not like he's not a
He is, but
draw.
he's not a top guy.
We can maybe bring this up in a little off the cuff.
The four people you see vying for the title right now, you can see as the face of the company. You would never see LA Knight as the face of the company. Never.
But I don't understand why though. It's not like he does media. He's the face of Slim Jim. Like they're putting him in those spots. But what is it? And honestly, I think it just boils down to flat out Hunter don't like him.
Could be that too. Could be that too.
Like I just think, like for whatever reason, it's an MVP type situation where Hunter just don't like you. And you're only going to go so far. Or somebody in the back don't like him to where they don't want to push him. LA Uso. He might as well be LA Uso at this point because he's been tied to the bloodline, and like him and Sammy have been linked to the bloodline and Cody and Seth. Like they've been that way for years now. Sammy got a 9-day title reign out of it. What do we do? And LA Knight's been US champ what, once, twice?
Twice, yeah.
But every time he comes out, he gets one of the loudest pops of the night.
So does Danhausen.
But when you look at Danhausen versus LA Knight, obviously you see the difference there. Is like Danhausen's never going to be a WWE champion. LA Knight is going to go down in that category of guys who should have held the WWE title or the world title. When we talk about Jake Roberts, Mr. Perfect, like Rick Rude, like LA Knight's name is going to be added to that list.
I agree with you. Just for the reaction he gets.
It just doesn't make any sense to me in that regards. Like,
but those other guys, you're going off in ring work.
But now it's like, where does he go now? So what? He's going to be the catalyst for this Seth and Roman feud to take the spot on Roman when Roman's not on TV leading up to SummerSlam? For what?
Go back to SmackDown. I don't know.
And then he's beefing with Jimmy and Jay, which Solo came out and helped him. But Jay's off TV right now, given everything that's going on with him personally. So that's why they're not rolling him out there. You seen the news broke that his divorce was filed, and you ain't seen him in 2 weeks. They've had him off TV. Karrion Kross is employed, Taquan, and he's
a champ somewhere.
He's a champion. Somewhere. He's a heavyweight champion in MLW. It's just, we talk about Sheamus leaving and TKO only focusing on money makers and that, right? And Sammy, this transition 9-day title reign was because the company doesn't see him as a money-making superstar guy. Like, for as good as Sammy is, and Sammy, we can have that argument, Sammy being better than LA Knight, but LA Knight is a money making guy.
Do you think how do I say this? They have both titles. Do you think they're trying to put them on? I don't want to say equal footing, but like back in the day, they introduced that second title for guys you knew probably wouldn't get the title.
Even in that situation, though, they're not booking him like he's the top of the quote unquote mid card title.
But you've made that Raw title as a something almost as prestigious. Now you got it on Roman. I don't. I would never see him taking it off of Roman.
If he was going to take the belt off Roman, just he should have did it way back when they didn't cash in, when he was nuclear white hot, right?
Oh,
like
yeah. When he interrupted him at the top of the ramp.
yeah, like that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? That you should have did it then, but you didn't. And wrestling is all about timing. Same with Sammy. I think if Sammy would have beat Roman in his hometown when he was just turned and it was firecracker hot, like, I mean, but now you just gave him this win in Saudi as a hey, thank you for taking a pay cut, if you believe the rumor and innuendo. I will live forever in video games and TikTok edits.
He's made his mark, so you'll be seeing those clips forever.
Well, if you supposedly know the secret, DJ, put it out there. Outside of Hunter not liking him, I don't know what else there is to not put him up there.
I just don't see him as a full-time champ. Like he transitioned one time, yeah.
And that's not everybody's meant to have a 9-month, 12-month reign. We get that. But like, you mean to tell me there's no point in time that LA Knight couldn't be given the ball to see what he does? And I get it. Like, look how long it took Big E to get a title, or look how long it took Kofi to get a title. Kofi's situation is a little bit different, but I don't know, if you're going to give Jinder Mahal and the Great Khali the title, why can't you? Well, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Seriously. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. But more to come. Moving forward. So the title of this show this week, New Champ, Who This? We got new champs across the board in various fashions in WWE and AEW. Obviously, the two big ones are CM Punk getting the title shot out the sky. His bar is not Jinder Mahal, but I mean, like, come on, bro. Like, his finisher is trash.
The finisher is trash, but I wouldn't hold that against him.
So we're only giving championships to people with cool finishers. I mean, if that's the case, you know, there's plenty of guys that have amazing finishers that will never sniff a title.
It's true. If me and Steve take it out in the yard, I'm not hitting with the BFT or what it's called.
Yeah, Blunt Force Trauma BFT is definitely a terrible name, but it's one of those things. So with
I like
the
new green gear, his vest is trash. So,
all right, new champs this week. The big two, obviously, Kyle Fletcher beating Takeshita is another one. Whatever. Division shockingly getting the tag team titles right back off of the Street Profits for basketball reasons. I don't know, to reveal the turn of Maxine Dupree. Let's not even get into the idiots IWC, which may be a mush for what they were saying about all that. But she's married and she's kissing Austin Theory on Raw. It's like, bro, we like,
We've been watching wrestling for how long?
come on, man.
They play
Like
dumb
you
when they
guys,
want to play dumb.
it's just like TV and movies.
Yeah.
You have husband and wives in TVs and movies that are married to people not on the show, and they're having kissing scenes and everything else. Like, come on. But the big two obviously are Punk and Omega, right? Um, some say AEW moved up the MJF to Omega to put the belt on Omega to take some shine off of Punk, and it's not like they announced it Tuesday that they were bumping the match. They announced it before Monday when Punk won and beat Sammy um, to lead us the way. My question to you is, with those two specifically, one, who's going to have the longer reign, and two, which guy's more deserving, Punk or Omega?
For me, longer reign. When is All In?
End of August.
I'll give it to Punk. Like this storyline is already written in the books for AEW. It's been since Hangman couldn't challenge this main event scene has been already written in the books. Um, so I'll give it to Punk. Who's more deserving? I feel Kenny. I know you written in the story like anytime a title shot drops out of the sky, I'll be there. Yeah, but I don't know. It,
I mean, I got so much to say because this could bleed off into mush territory as well. But um, the oh, this was always the plan. That's why Punk said the line when he said the line. This was always going to be Cody versus Punk at SummerSlam. Um, okay, can I technically buy into that?
mm,
Maybe. But to me, this makes Punk a complete hypocrite.
true.
Your whole thing about Roman was he never showed up. I'm here. I make every town. I make every date. I make every European tour. You lost at Mania. You cut a promo Monday Night Raw after Mania, and we ain't seen you since. And now you walk out in your hometown of Chicago and automatically get a title shot and win the title. How are you any better than Roman? How? How can you come out and say the things that you say last night on SmackDown? I want to run. I want Finn Balor. I want Royce Keys. I want Damian Priest. And you're giving me the whole, oh, I'm the fighting champ, be here week in and week out. But you didn't do that to get the title.
Mm,
Now I see Kenny's losing it all in. I see Punk keeping the title past SummerSlam, which would mean he would carry it past All In.
uh, when you say deserving, I feel like this might be Kenny's last run. Not last run, but last attempt at it. So I see Punk holding the title again, maybe two more times. So I think, yeah, get one more on Kenny before he's done.
I mean that match on Wednesday, Meltzer gave it 5 3/4 stars, but yet he still hasn't rated the Mercedes Moné Maya World match. He's out here rating MJF and Kenny Omega on Wednesday night. I didn't see ratings for Kendall Gray and Natty, which he said on his own show is arguably the best U.S. women's match of the year. But there's no star rating for that. Um, Look, Kenny to me on Wednesday night proved the moniker of best bout machine, proved that he's arguably the best wrestler in the last decade. proved all the things that the hype that was Kenny Omega when AEW started up. Take the diverticulitis situation out of the fold, and I know it's been like over 1,600 days since he's held the title in AEW. Um, I think his run in AEW looks different without being out for almost 2 years.
Mhm.
Is he more deserving? Yes. Do I want to see the rubber match with him and Osprey at All In, Omega Osprey 3? Yes. Do I feel Kenny run from July, 7th to the end of August at All In, essentially a month and a half, is what Kenny deserves if this is the last time he has the title? I completely disagree with that. So I don't know what they do for redemption. You know, do you run it right back with Max and Kenny? Well, then, like, it's redemption for who? Like, you're not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not following the tagline of the pay
Yeah.
per view. You know what I mean? Like, you're just having a rematch. Like, um, that match was, I mean, it was really good.
What is? Would that have been redemption?
It was supposed to be redemption. The
Well,
main event that was
okay.
supposed to be the main event, but they moved it up. Which, to me, if you're gonna move MJF and Kenny up and put it on Beach Break, and you can do that for a number of reasons, right? They had their highest rated Dynamite in how long? Granted, there was no World Cup on Wednesday night, but they still pulled over 700,000 people. So it was their highest rated Dynamite in a really long time. The match itself was fantastic. I didn't necessarily mind the run-ins and that sort of stuff. It comes to part of the course, but it didn't take much, in my opinion.
Mm.
But if you move it up, then to me that signifies it better. I just don't know what that is.
Mm.
Like, what are you going to run in a couple of weeks that makes it on par with that main event or better?
I mean, redemption can still play in the Willows part. Let them main event. Freezing
I
up.
want to. You know, Sammy and Punk had a terrific match as well. Like, both main event matches in the title changes were really great wrestling matches.
Yeah.
You can argue which one was better. I'm not going to do that. I enjoyed both main event title matches.
Same.
I do wish, is 9 days long enough for Sammy?
If they play
Like,
off this promo he cut, I'm, I'm here for it.
and that, like, which leads into last night. Like, his backstage promo after Raw was tremendous,
Yes.
absolutely phenomenal. It tied in like all the crash out scenes with the water balls and everything else leading up to this that he had with Cody and everything else, right? Like, made the hypocrite that is CM Punk stand out as a hypocrite. Like, all that stuff is great. And then you see him break down in tears. And it's like, well, you just made an even hotter babyface of Sami Zayn.
Gotta have.
And it's like, if you would have pulled this in any other city other than Chicago, do you get the cheers and the excitement for Punk?
You would, but the, The thing I hate about Sammy is he's good at making you hate him, and he's good at making you like him. Because when you hate him, you hate him.
Yeah, I mean this is just yeah, maybe we get the honorary use back into the tribal cheese fold because you know. But it's like, all right, you have the segment last night, and CM Punk and Cody do the Doc Holiday "Say When" from Tombstone. Say when, say when SummerSlam. Oh, okay, well that's not as good as "I'll Be Your Huckleberry," but we knew where it was going. Um, but then all this adds him into the tag team match at Saturday Night's main event: Sammy and Gunther against Punk and Cody.
So he's still in the picture. So that's a plus.
So again, where does this go? Because Gunther is facing Aldis.
Yeah. Hold on. Does everybody have a Dunmark's YouTube?
No,
Am I the only one raw
no,
dogging it with my real name?
I'm just whenever I'm on YouTube, it's at Dunmark's Pod. It's not
No.
at Dunmark Steve. Yeah, no. Um, but I mean, like Sammy again is looking on the outside as far as, are you going to have him on SummerSlam, and if so, doing what? First off, Donald is not the GOAT of this program, DJ. Let's get that settled right now. Okay, definitely not the GOAT. Um, but I like. Did they need that match for Saturday night's main event after what's been announced so far? Yeah. Do I expect Danhausen and JD McDonough to steal the show? Yeah, because it's New York. You'll have Jalen Brunson. You'll have running. You'll have all that stuff. But they needed that match to get people in, because outside of that, you have the women's tag match, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I can skip Saturday night's main event. But now we'll have to tune in to see where this goes, since obviously you're playing on a lot of different, you're pulling on a lot of different strings with that tag match, and then you factor in Gunther and Aldis.
All right. Dawn gave me his mush and it applied to this topic. Legends getting in these last title runs. CM Hogan, Kenny Hulk Omega. I don't care that the storyline was planned from the beginning. I don't care if it's the biggest stars. When are the companies going to let young stars take off? Feels like they're going away or going away. Feels like a going away present. For all that, the Knicks should have just suited up Patrick Ewing for the last 10 seconds just so he can get a ring. Seth Roman, Punk Cody, Omega Ospreay. Do these six need to fight for a title? The answer is no.
I disagree with Omega and Ospreay. Ospreay's been around, but he's not in the over 40 club.
That's the one, yeah.
So, MJF just turned 30. Like, he's younger, has been main event in the title scene. Hangman, young. Say what you will about Darby, young. Like, AEW's done a better job. I think WWE is going to be forced to go in that direction, because you got to crown Oba, and to me, the reign of Oba Femi starts at WrestleMania 43. Mm-hmm. So, will we see that? Probably. Is it going to be across the board with both sets of titles and everything?
Nah.
No. But Punk can't have that much longer on his deal. So, we'll see there.
No, DJ, we haven't done it yet. We just sprinkling in if it comes
not
up.
Yet. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Speaking of stuff that broke from a wrestling documentary perspective, last week, Dark Side of the Ring returned, kicked off with a 3-part series, Jeff Jarrett and the battle for TNA. I watched episodes 1 and 2. This is everything I love about wrestling documentaries. Like, and you can call me a mark for that, but if you give me this type of stuff and this type of content, Dark Side kind of fell off with some of it. That the
Mm.
season, this season 7 that they have laid out with the episodes that they have and what they're going to be talking to, I'm fully back on the Dark Side of the Ring bandwagon. But did you watch the first 2 episodes of Jeff Jarrett and the Battle for TNA, and what were your thoughts as far as what was revealed or not revealed to this point for you?
Uh, I watched. I was cynical. I was just like, it's got to be allowed. It's got to be allowed. Yeah. Uh, when I went in, I thought it was just a TNA documentary. So when it started off with Jeff Jarrett, I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't need a Jeff Jarrett, documentary. I didn't know it was the battle for TNA. So of course you had to touch in on some of the past. I'm like, okay, I'll take that.
But you can't tell. I mean, like they said, you can't tell the story of TNA without Jeff Jarrett.
You can. You can just tell the
TNA,
story of TNA. You don't need to tell Jeff Jarrett's life story if you're telling the story about TNA.
but
You
that's
just
how
know you know he's in the
that's
business.
how
That's all you
TNA
need to know.
came to be. Like that's why
Nah,
TNA was birthed. That's why
they
TNA started. Like
you slipped in some pointless uh tear joker moments for no reason. Like
I mean, if you go, like that's saying that you do the rise and fall of ECW, but you don't talk about Paul Heyman. It's the same thing.
you want to talk about Paul, but you didn't talk about his upbringing from the start. Paul was a young New York kid. Just give me the rise and fall. Yeah.
I do say I wish Dixie Carter would have accepted to speak her truth, regardless of what it is. And Jeff Jarrett was doing plenty of media leading up to this drop in, and he called Dixie, told her, "Hey, like, speak your truth. Everybody has their truth, and then the overall truth probably lies in somewhere in the middle out of all of our truths, right?"
And that's what you're getting.
So
You're getting the We Hate Dixie side.
I mean,
Like, because you got to a point where, like, they're bringing in all the WWE talent, and he says, this was before he got kicked out, before he got fired. This was our highest ratings we've had going forward. And what was that from? Bringing in all the WWE guys. So you can't shit on where the business is
no,
going.
I mean he's gone September of 09, and then you get Bischoff Hogan, get rid of the 6-sided ring and all that, and you're back to crickets.
But it was, and then they're playing TNA up like it was a legit number 2. Nah,
How was it not a legit number 2?
it wasn't. I wasn't watching TNA.
You're on Spike TV getting 2 to 3 million viewers. That's a legit number 2.
Yeah, man.
That's better ratings than what people are drawing now with AEW. And I know we can have the argument as far as like how you justify ratings, and there was only cable, and I get it, but at the same time, like I'll be tuning in for episode 3 this upcoming week to watch the conclusion, see how they tie it all up. To me, they could have done an entire season 7 just on this topic.
True.
So,
like there was, I was like, yeah, I shouldn't even bring this up, but like the part where his wife passed, and you had 5 different people crying.
I'm not gonna let you get that off. I'm not gonna let you get that off. Come on now.
No, I was like, this is a production here.
Come on now. You can't. Come on now. You have no idea what that woman meant to those individuals that were crying on screen.
Hey, I got death every day, and not every day, but come on. We come on.
No, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible.
That's when I knew it was overproduced.
You can't do that.
That's what I knew.
Nah. All right. Let's get into these Mount Rushmores this week. Who you got? What's Donald got from Mount Rushmore?
You and him have the same, so I'll go mine first. Mine comes from NXT. It was the 4-way women's match with Layla Diggs, Thea Hale, Izzy Name, and Lizzie Rain. They put on a hell of a show for me, and it's just like you're showing the future. And I was surprised Layla Diggs got the win, and it was
Uh,
like,
Tiffy's gonna have to come off of the prettiest moonsault ever because
yes,
Layla's that was, I mean, like mouth dropped open, like wow, that's spectacular.
yeah,
Like, yeah, Tiffy, you might have to have to come up with something different there, girl, because that was absolutely phenomenal in that regards.
and then like at every
Um,
point in the match, all three faces had their own wave where they had the fans behind them. Izzy's just Izzy. She's the heel, so she's not getting the love. But those girls showed out, and as much as I don't like Izzy in ring, she delivered too. Yeah,
yeah, I mean NXT women throughout the show on Tuesday again, driving the bus.
yeah,
Like that match, Jada's backstage and then her interaction with Natty, like
yeah,
and Natty was Donald's Natty and Kendall.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we're on the same agreement there. That for me, that was, you know, they got. I think they got like roughly 12 minutes, 13 minutes total.
Who was that?
Natty and Kendall.
Okay.
Um, I need like give me 20 to 25. I need a main event PLE NXT 20 solid 25 minutes between them two.
And since Great American Bash, women have been closing the show.
And why
They've been the
not? They
main
don't
event.
have men to do it.
Yeah, they've been the main event. So
So, and you still like you have all those four women you talked about earlier. You have Jada, you have Kendall, who's the champ. You still got Lola. You still got Kalani. Like then you didn't even talk about Zaria or Tatum. Like they're
yeah,
sitting at an NBA roster size of 12 to 15 girls that
ready to go.
are absolutely stealing the show.
Yeah,
So you talk about carrying the load and being the most talked about thing each and every single week.
yeah.
Hell, give me a women's evolution pay per view of just NXT women at this point because and that's not even factored in like people like Ren Sinclair or or Nikita Lyons. Like it's so
All right.
deep right now. Like
And my 1B is Willow's back. I'm just happy Willow's back.
yeah.
Give her the moon. Give her the stars.
I mean, I wish the only thing that I did not like about that match in particular is it's the gauntlet match, right? So like more people get added the longer it goes,
Yeah,
but not enough people who started off the match were trying to win it early to prevent more
yeah,
people from coming out, right? Like, you know, but even that on Wednesday night was really good.
yeah.
That match, then you had
The
Mercedes.
follow up.
I thought Tekla on commentary was tremendous. She was really good. Um, I think she had a blow up doll line about Mina Shirakawa and something that I popped for, but like,
Then you lined up Bane and
yeah, yeah, Bane, yeah, the Divine Dominion coming out and being the heat for Mercedes.
I even like the Brawling Birds had a vignette. Like the women are killing it.
I truly are across the board right
Yeah,
now. Like, so yeah, Natty and Kendall for me.
yeah.
Was
Don't get
that
Natty and Kendall, Kendall and Natty. Women are killing it down there. This is just another notch in the book. Perfect technical match showing Kendall can put on any type of match.
right? Like, I know you only have so many spots on the main roster, and I know she's not fully there from a promo perspective yet.
Mm.
But in ring wise, she's top five in the entire company. I I will stand on that hill. Bell to bell, she is top five women's wrestler in the company right now. So I mean, yeah, like even the stuff with Io and all them on like on Monday night was it. This is yeah, women for me are grabbing the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So speaking of women, nice to see Awesome Kong get some flowers too in that TNA doc
I
because
throw bitches.
that's what I do.
That's what
I
I
was
do.
like, okay, I really would have liked to have seen what her WWE run would have looked like if she had not gotten pregnant and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff because that was a different time. There was a different view on the women wrestlers and getting pregnant, where now it's celebrated, you know, Becky, Naomi, Bianca, right? Like it's not viewed upon as negatively as it was back then,
Yeah.
which like ended her run and she never returned after that. So um but yeah, Awesome Kong was truly that awesome in that regards. And again, going back, that's a knockouts division that carried a show for how long? And even in recent years, the knockouts division prior to like Deanna and Jordan and all them leaving, like they were the best thing on TNA too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a different era as far as women's wrestling goes, for sure. My one B outside of them was Oba and Paul on Monday night. Those two, they just Oba is what he is on the microphone, and he's great. Sometimes he can say one too many words, and he can get to the point a little shorter. But every time he's in there with Paul Heyman, I'm talking about Oba more than Paul,
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't happen on the microphone with Paul. So like to me, Oba is literally the next big thing to steal
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's tagline. All right. So those are your Mount Rushmores for this week. Let's get into the mush segment of the show.
Already
What
gave you
was
Dawn's. His was the legends of winning titles.
right?
Uh I could have gave my much earlier, other than the IWC overreacting about all this title changing. Mine is division, or not division, but just them taking the belts off the Profits. That didn't need to happen. Yeah. Break division up. Let Braun go solo. If you want to run Theory, Reed, and Paul, I'm fine with that. Let Braun Breaker do his own thing.
Yeah, it's like what is the vision for the vision? We
Yeah.
thought we thought we were like getting the end of the group. Paul, shunned them and walked away. Logan Paul's still out. You had Maxine and Austin doing their stuff on the side, and then there's Breaker, and then this Monday comes out, and it's like, first off, Maxine had probably the hardest hit him in the ding ding spot I've ever seen from a low blow. Like I felt bad for Dawkins. He still might be icing the twigs and berries after that because that looked brutal. Um, and then Heyman afterwards is like, "Hey, finally, you guys did something right." And there he's like, "Thanks, Paul. Thanks, wise man." He's like, "I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to her." So even then, he's shunning
Yeah.
them and giving the credit to Maxine. So it's like, where is this going?
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah,
No, I say let stuff play out, but this is taking too long to play out for me.
yeah. I could have given my mush to Meltzer again for still not rating my world and Mercedes at this point. It's like, all right, I don't even care no more, Dave. Like, if you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna do it. We're gonna be a month after the freaking match. Oh, I don't have time to watch it on TV. Bullshit. You watched everything this week on TV and talked about it on your shows. Like, just So not I could have went there. Not going to do that. Um, could have talked about some stuff with TNA, but my mush this week. I opened up Twitter this morning, and first thing that pops up in the algo on the timeline, very first thing, AEW announcement: Hangman Adam Page returns to Collision tonight in Roanoke, Virginia. I'm sorry, what? You announced? Wait, what? Why?
Oh God.
So you first off, why are you returning him on Collision? Second off, why are you announcing the return? Third off, if you were gonna have Hangman return, like what, like you couldn't find anything else? I mean, hell, WWE returned Baron Corbin last night
That's
in
not.
the Mellow Trick match, and thank God he's not Danhausen's experiment. But he comes back, and I'm like, hey, you found a creative way to bring him into the fold. He had beef with those guys in NXT whenever it was him and Breaker down there,
Yeah.
running the tag team. So like,
So I was watching that and I fell asleep on that match because it was late. I wake up, Baron Corbin returns. I'm pissed because you just spoiled something for me. So now you telling me Hangman's returning. I hate spoilers. I don't care.
but it's AEW doing the spoiling.
keep
It's Tony Khan himself announcing it from the AEW main Twitter account.
People was like, you better not say nothing about Avengers. You better not say nothing about Batman. Look, don't spoil shit for me in wrestling at all. That's I want to be surprised.
And I'm sorry, but announcing Heyman Adam Page is coming back on Collision on Saturday night is not going to get me to tune in whenever I have the World Cup going on.
Sometimes you got to stop worrying about the ratings and just let shit happen.
Yeah, we got the doubleheader kicking off at 5 p.m. with World Cup. Argentina and Switzerland kick off at 9. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not even putting the two boxes up in the multi-view on the YouTube TV. I'm solely going to be watching the World Cup later. But yeah, don't spoil the spoilers. I mean, don't spoil the surprises.
You could have had him return for Kenny and did that spot. Did also.
Yeah, and then you can have him and MJF go to Wembley.
Nah, let's try to put more butts in seats at Collision.
Yeah. All right, this yeah.
Hold on, before we hop in, I forgot to I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I want your opinion. This is fresh as Mount Rushmore.
The Lemon Pepper Stepper Legacy title.
I need your opinion on the title. You might
first off, did you see Trick's Lemon Pepper Wingstop commercial?
No.
Yeah. So Trick is officially a spokesman for Wingstop. He spins around in the chair and he puts his leg up. He's like, "It's your boy Trick Williams here. And you know what I got going on?" And he's pointing to the wings, them lemon pepper wings with my lemon pepper steppers. And the Wingstop graphic, I'm like, all right, it's about time they pulled that advertisement into the fold.
So we're getting more Wingstop advertisement.
Oh yeah. That was yeah, for sure. This is where the duality with Trick comes in, right? Trick is a heel, but everybody loves him because of the entrance music, the entrance, all that, right? But he is a heel. Doing the Lemon Pepper Legacy White Fur title is a heel move. That's heel 101.
The Triple B.
The Triple B, right? It's the same thing. I don't mind it
No.
It's not one of those things where I hate it where when Daniel Bryan was on the hipster WWE champion and brought in the organic WWE title made out of organic materials. Like eh, that was heel 101 too. But like yeah, like you want to talk about a marketing ploy to selling $700 titles? They dropped the 30th year edition of the NWO belt this week on WWE Shop, and it's just Hogan's face in the middle, Nash and Hall on the side plates, and get that shit out of here. Give me the Lemon Pepper Legacy title. I want that.
I hated the white side plates, but it fit. It fit with Trick's whole vibe.
And you got the white mink chinchilla faux fur on it too.
Good luck keeping that clean.
Yeah. Hey, that'll easily identify wrestling fans that don't shower because that thing's gonna turn beige, brown, black in a matter of the 2 hours that you're in the arena. So if we could use the lemon pepper legacy title to point out the people in the IWC that don't shower and use deodorant and kick them out of the arena, by all means, let's hand them out as people are walking in. So yeah, I love the lemon pepper legacy United States Championship title. Tremendous. Before we get into the sign off here and wrap up, we'll jump into some quick hits from the PTM edition, part in the marks. First up here, and I didn't write all these out as far as quick hitters, but
yeah.
First up, Power Slap. I'm not saying Mahabali Shera from formerly in TNA KO Jake Hager on Power Slap. So we had two former professional wrestlers going at it on Power Slap.
This is gonna be a crossover. I'm just gonna dread when it happens. There's gonna be a Power Slap.
How long before we get Braun Strowman on Power Slap?
It was Vince. We did have had one in the ring already.
Yeah, so he KO'd Jake Hager. Nice to see Jake Hager getting knocked out in that regards. I mean, the Real American, if this would have been, last week, July 4th weekend, it would have been a little disappointing. But,
I touched. Rhea Ripley was in attendance, so fans are pissed about that. With IWC.
Yeah, and people were like, oh, it's been 35 days since Rhea Ripley's been on. I'm like, she's injured. Like, we know this. I touched on AEW drawing, over 700K for Dynamite on Wednesday night. NXT drew 691, so one of their highest rated shows. It was their best rated 18 to 49 show in the last 5 months. Again, no World Cup competition, but the women led the show. So there you go there. Couple other quick hitters here. We touched on MLP getting on my AEW, but Mauro Ranallo and Don Callis will be the commentators for those shows. So welcome back, Mauro. I love Mauro Ranallo in pro wrestling. Give me more Mauro. And he's paired up with Don. You want to talk about just a match made in heaven. Recreating the Gorilla Monsoon, Jesse Ventura vibes.
Already a future mush.
Trey Miguel announced that he is officially cleared. So get Trey Miguel back into the fold. He's re-signed with TNA. We had Jungle Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, re-signed with AEW. His contract was coming up or was up, and he decided to re-sign. Word is there was no real true interest from WWE for Jack Perry, which I could see why for a number of reasons. All Out was announced for September 26th in Chicago at the Now Arena. Death Before Dishonor, ROH, is set for Friday, August 21st from the ECW Arena at 2300 Arena. And then lastly, thoughts on this, because again, AEW doing something different Monday night with the venue, but they also partnered up with a streamer for a Wednesday night.
Hmm. Yeah.
So Agent Double Zero, who is part of the AMP squad of streamers, which includes Cassinet, Phantom, Duke Dennis, those guys there. He was at the event in Clearwater, streamed, did a pre-show, right? And they had Harley Cameron, Anthony Bowens, the Gun Club, Paul White, like Athena. There was multiple wrestlers that came through on the stream. It was interesting to see who the chat liked and did not like, in that regards. But they streamed live from the pre-show through the show, sitting ringside. Footage came out, them seeing the ending of Kenny Omega winning and all that on stream. But what do you think of AEW pulling in the influencers and actually having them stream, where WWE has used, iShow Speed and Castanet before, but they were there in other capacity, not actually there to stream live?
I like the idea. Just there's like wrestling content creators out there, people who actually love wrestling. That's why I hate seeing like Speed and like Paul. I mean, Logan Paul, he's came in and adapted himself. Now I obviously mark him as a wrestler. But when you start showing it, I don't even know how to say it. Like you're seeing more people like getting into wrestling that weren't here from the beginning. It's like give these people who've been here year out, year in, year out, like content creating for you for free. Give them a shot to straight with it. I know you want to reach the most people you want at one time, but try something different.
Yeah, I get you. You have all these wrestling streamers that do it, so why not bring them into the fold, right? But in my opinion, it's like I want the streamers. I don't want the wrestling streamers because it's putting my product in front of eyes that didn't see it before. So while yes, is it unfair that the wrestling streamers are not getting their due? It is, but you're not bringing in a different audience. You're carrying over a wrestling audience that's already watching the show. So if you're going to do something different and try to pull in new eyes on your product, get the top streamers that are streaming for streaming sake, not just the wrestling streamers that have a wrestling fan base that watch the stream. So I'm definitely not going to be mad at that. Again, Wednesday night was outside the box in all aspects for AEW, and I thought they hit a home run. So, all right, and then lastly, before we sign off here, UFC tonight, the return of Conor McGregor, Max Holloway 2. Who you got, McGregor or Holloway?
I don't know who the other guy is, so I'll say McGregor.
Again, this is it'll be a long night because I'll be watching the World Cup. The World Cup will end. I'll flip Paramount on and catch the main event with McGregor. Although I do want to watch the Paddy the Baddy Pimblett fight in his match because he's the co-main event. But yeah, I think McGregor coming back into the fold, you'll definitely get me to tune on to see, is he going to get knocked out? Is he actually back? Like, what type of shenanigans is he going to do? But yeah, be interested to see in that regards there. So
you can't get back into it. Should have never fell out of love with it. That's my take.
no, we got Donald and Chris on here taking sabbaticals. Chris is taking another sabbatical now from wrestling.
It ain't coming back. This is a duo now.
Yeah. So, all right, folks. There you have it. That was episode 299 of the Marks Podcast. New champ, who this? PTM, Pardon the Marks edition. We appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with the dynamic duo today. As always, follow along on all social media platforms at Marks Pod. Hit us up. Let us know what your Mount Rushmore and Mush of the Week was. Email the show, dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. We appreciate the feedback, criticism, positivity, whatever the case may be. Head on over to dumbmarkspod.com for all our affiliate links, prowrestlingtees.com. Pick up some merch, give you a live shout out on there. WWE shop, Surfshark VPN, get your VPN so that way you don't got to deal with the ESPN bullshit that got going on. Jason, anything else before we wrap up and leave the show with the quote of the week?
I have nothing.
All right, guys. Again, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, you liked the part of the Marks edition of the Dumb Marks podcast. If so, please let us know so we can run this segment back again. I appreciate that, Jason. Not too much back and forth. We got a little bit of the tension and the tease that is Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith.
Hey,
Next time you gotta come. Next time you gotta come and actually bring it though.
If you'd have brought out Morrow, I'd debated you the whole show. You saved that for the end.
Yeah, save that for a quick hitter. Absolutely. So, all right. With that being said, since we are in an ESPN type theme mindset, my quote of the week this week for the Monday motivation: start your week off with positivity. Comes from Stuart Scott. Don't downgrade your dream just to fit your reality. Upgrade your conviction to match your destiny. Don't downgrade your dream just to fit your reality. Upgrade your conviction to match your destiny. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in. I'm a Mark. You're a Mark. Telemark. Until next time, y'all can catch us around the way.